France to scale down West Africa military operations. France is to scale down counter-terrorism operations in the Sahel region of West Africa after 8 years, President Emmanuel Macron has said. The existing 5,100 strong task force will be incorporated into a broader international mission, he announced. French forces have been operating in Mali, Chad, Mauritania, Niger, and Burkina Faso to fight militants. Last week, France paused operations in Mali following a military coup. Militants linked to Al Qaeda and the Islamic State group have strengthened their grip in the region, which has become a front line in the war against Islamic extremism. It is also a major transit route for illegal drug weapons and jihadists. We'll keep a counter-terrorism pillar with special forces with several hundred forces, and there will be a second pillar that will be cooperation and which will reinforce, Mr. Macron said during a press conference on Thursday. He said those left in the region would work with other European nations as part of the Takuba task force, which is fighting militants in the Sahel alongside the armies of Mali and Nigeria. Moods are shifting in both the Sahel and France. This move follows on from suspension of joint military operations with the Malian army following Colonel Goita's second coup. But there is more to it than that. In France, Mr. Macron is already in campaigning mode for 2022 election, and French public opinion is increasingly doubtful about the Sahel mission. Meanwhile, the death of Chad leader Idriss Deby has reconfigured the Sahel and the Mali. There is strong opposition in the French presence. As a reminder, it was Mali in which 2013 called on France for assistance, but France now finds itself criticized for condemning the coup in Mali, yet supporting the Chad army's appointment of Idriss Deby's son as the nation's new leader, which Chad's opposition parties have called it institutional coup. Meanwhile, Mr. Macron says he cannot accept that Mali has decided to open a dialogue with the very jihadist groups that French forces in the country are fighting against. The drawdown of troops would take place in the organized way, and details will be finalized by the end of June, the president said. France has been involved for a little over 8 years in the Sahel, Mr. Macron said. Many of our soldiers have fallen. I think of their families. We owe them consistency, clarity. We are going to learn from what worked and also learn from what didn't. Critical stage for fight against jihadis in West Africa. Niger has first peaceful transfer of power. In recent months, Chad's leader Idriss Deby Itno was killed in battle, and Mali experienced its second coup in 9 months. Following the second Mali coup, Mr. Macron told a French newspaper that he has told regional leaders that France would not support countries where there is no democratic legitimacy or transition, and that France had no intention of keeping its troops in Africa forever. Thank you.